What is going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Albino Park. Last we left off, we added in a couple more carnivores like the Pterosaurs, which are separated from each other, as well as we added this enclosure with the Triceratops, Pachycephalosaurus, and all that jazz. And today we are going to be focusing on the aviary and the aquatic section. Now, I'm not going to go too crazy with it. I'm just gonna add in whatever has like a white color, albino, whatever, and then we're gonna go from there. So let's start with the aviary. Like I said, I'm not gonna go too crazy, just so we have an aviary and an aquatic section. There we go, we got that. We'll probably add some more stuff over here, like maybe some buildings and whatever. Let's get some viewing. Let's get a hatchery out. So we have it. So that's that done. Let's add in maybe a body of water so then the animals can drink. There we go. Just so the pterosaurs have places to land. And then if we wanted to, we could add some forest, some foliage over here. There we go. That should be good. That's our aviary done. Alright, let's go into additional bays, accelerated growth. There we go. Let's see what has an albino skin and what doesn't. Okay. So I guess Barbaridactylus, Sierradactylus, Dimorphodon, Geosternbergia, Jeholopterus, and Pteranodon. Alright, that's what we'll put in. Alright, so let me modify the genome. I think Barbaridactylus has 2 variants, so we'll look at both variants and see how they are. Alright, let's start with the Sierradactylus, see how they look. Oh, wait, are they different patterns? Hold on. Let me take a look. Lithobates, yeah, oops. Did not mean to do that. Alright, so for you guys, let's just go with blank pattern. Oh crap, did I do that with all of them? Yeah, they only come in 4s, okay. Alright, let's try this again. Okay, yeah, that looks way better. I mean, apart from the yellow under the wings, but you know what? That's good enough. Alright, let's take a look at the Dimorphodons next. Did I? Yeah, I did. Crap. Oh my god. I never went into the blank patterns. Alright, tranquilize all the Dimorphodons as well. They should all have blank patterns. And I think Barbaridactylus all has random patterns too. Oh, wait. I think I got all of them in blank patterns. Yeah, I did. Okay, that's good to know. Alright, what about the other skin for Barbaridactylus? Let's modify them. Let's see, let's get the Keelan Mountains over here, just to see what they're all about. Alright, let's release the new Dimorphodons. They look albino enough, I would think. Alright, let's look at the Geosternbergias, just get this over with. Okay, I think we're good with these guys. Yeah, we're good with those guys. Alright, let's multi-select. I'm really sorry I have to do this. Okay, can you hit him? Please? There we go. Finalize selection. Sell them. There we go. Alright, you know, let's see how the Keelan Mountains ones look. That looks more... I mean, there's some white on it. You know what? They're good enough. Alright, let's move on to the Jeholopteruses. Alright, you know what? That's good enough for Jeholopterus. Let me just check to see and make sure they're all blank pattern. Yeah, they're all blank pattern. Good. Alright, let's move on to the Pteranodons and do the same thing. Alright, we're on blank pattern. Good. There we go. Pteranodons are being added in. You know what? Let's add another batch. Alright, we could add the lagoon while we wait. Let's get the lagoon going, like the aquatics. Alright. So for the lagoon area, we'll take a look and see what has, like, albino skins and what doesn't. Alright, so we've got Archelon, Addenborosaurus, no, we got Addenborosaurus, Dunkleosteus, Elasmosaurus. Yeah, Elasmosaurus has... No, I don't think it does. Does it? Oh, no. Glad I caught that. Ichthyosaurus doesn't. You do. You don't. You don't. You don't. You do. You don't. You do. You do. And you don't. Alright. So let's start modifying the genome. There we go. We'll add those two in here. Alright, while we wait for those, let's finally release the Pteranodons. How do they look at it? Okay, yep, that's good. That's good. There we go. We've got Pteranodon in here, and then we'll release the other three. Get them going. Alright. Alright, there we go. It's probably going to be hard to see them, but we've got them. Alright, let's release the Shonisaurs first. All white Shonisaurs. Let's go. Those look good. Yep, there we go. Shonisaurus has been released. Alright, let's wait for the Addenborosaurs to release, and then we can move on to the next enclosure. Oh, wrong button. Release. Something big and something small. Okay. We got that going. We're gonna need a lagoon to get the next one done anyway, so... might as well move on to the next lagoon. The next lagoon we'll throw over here. Maybe we could put Dunkleosteus in here. That's what I'm thinking. We at least have Dunkleosteus. Alright, let's move this over to here. There we go. Alright, we got more viewing domes, or viewing stands even. Let's get some viewing stands over here as well. There we go. We should be good. Alright. So we said Dunkleosteus was in the question, so let's go ahead and get Dunkleosteus modified and ready to go. Wow, Dunkleosteus is actually not that expensive. It's like, real talk, it's like pretty cheap actually compared to the other dinosaurs. I think Mosasaur has always been one of the more expensive ones. Alright, let's add some like lagoon viewing domes. And then let's get another one for over here, so people can see the aquatics better. Alright, let's hatch these three up. 945,000, not even $1 million for three of them. Oh, look at that. You get a really good shot of the Shonisaurus. That's cool. Look at it flying or swimming just above you. That's awesome. Get to go underwater. You have up close and personal with them. Alright, Dunkleosteus, let's go. Dunkleosteus actually made its first official appearance in Jurassic World Rebirth. Albeit it was dead, but it was basically a species has been created. So Dunkleosteus is confirmed to have been created, which is good. Alright. So we'll probably get to see more in the next film or something like that. I don't know. Alright, so Dunkleosteus looks albino enough. Let's see what other aquatics we got. That's good enough. Alright, so let's let's start decorating it a bit. We'll put in some lagoon viewing domes. One over here, one over here. We'll get a viewing stand. Alright. That's that done. Let's hatch up the elasmosaurs and the other ones. Oh, those look good. Those look perfect. I could not have asked for better colors. There we go. We got the elasmosaurs, and we're about to get the... what's it called? The Styxosaurs. Let's speed that up. Let's get them out of here, too. Oh. Oops. That was a mistake. Oops. Yeah, get rid of those three. We should be good. Let's hatch these three up now. And then once we're done with this, we can move on to this aquatic enclosure, where we'll add the rest of the aquatics, and then we'll end the episode there. And then off camera, I'll add amenities and shelters and whatever. I get there a little faster. Alright, let's see how these look. Much better. Much better. Alright. Yeah, I completely forgot to change everything there. Alright, clear away those three. And I think we're done here, so we can go ahead and get this going. Oh, come on. You're just not connecting to paths. There we go. Alright. What else did we say was in the question? You're out of the question. You're in the question. Okay. We'll add in Kronosaurus. Out of the question, out of the question, in the question. Oh, I've already modified them. We'll add Nothosaurus. Out of the question. Alright, we already put you in, and we already put you in. Okay, I think that's everything, pretty much. Why I made this super long, I have no idea. Oh my god. You know, we don't need it that long. There we go. Let's just make that a little smaller. A lot smaller. There we go. Alright, let's add in Kronosaurus, and then let's add in Nothosaurus. There we go. And then we'll keep this. You know what? No, let's move this. Let's move you a little over here. There we go. So then you're not in the way. Alright, let's put in the feeders. Let's put in the feeders, and then we can finally end the episode off. There we go. Alright, let's release the Nothosaurus first. See how they look. Okay. That's looking nice, I guess. Yep, that's good. That's good for the Nothosaurs. And finally, the Kronosaurs. Something a little bit larger entering the park. There we go. And that's the aquatic section and the aviary done. Next episode, we'll move on to the hybrids, and that'll be the end of the Albino Park. But until then, that's going to wrap it up for this episode. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more. It would really help out a ton. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next time.